Okay, let's slowly start our AMA session, October 29th. There was almost a week passed after our growth campaign in October, and still a lot of things is going on the XANA world. Let me introduce one by one what happened last week and where we are going for the next. Okay, so first, on the 23rd of October, we just announced the update of XANA Genesis. This is kind of one of the largest updates we've been made recently. We have 6 major updates about XANA Genesis. The first one is a Japanese language support, and the quality of Japanese language is really amazing. I was so surprised because it's so real and it is so interesting. The way they answer is so interesting. Some of you guys maybe know the Japanese language is kind of really complex language and it is not really a straightforward. But XANA Genesis is really smart enough to captivate all of the meanings of any kind of details of the Japanese language, and it gives proper response. So I was so surprised, and I feel big possibility for further development of XANA Genesis. Next language, we will see our user base and find out which language we should support for the next. Maybe it can be Korean, Chinese, or Spanish, or even the Russian or Turkish. Somewhere according to our user base, those language areas comes next. So we will see. We're gonna hear the requests. Okay, so that is the first update, and the second update is the XANA Genesis can remember what the owners teach. So before, there was a kind of instant conversation sessions. Whoever talked to XANA Genesis, she can kind of remember the conversations, but it's gonna forget in the next time because it's kind of in a fresh memory. But we improved that, and now she can remember what owner taught her. But instead of she's gonna learn everything, the way we are developing right now is the owner can give the permanent memory, but the people who are not the owner but still can talk to the XANA Genesis, talk to someone else's XANA Genesis, she can still remember the conversation, but it's gonna be the instant memory. That's a major difference between the owned NFT or someone else's NFT. If you're talking to your own NFT, XANA Genesis, she can remember. Even though you close the window and next day you're gonna talk to her, she can still remember what you discussed with her. It is not 100% perfect and accurate yet, but we keep improving that. So eventually we're gonna reach there. It's already implemented partially, so you can still enjoy and start training her in your own way. And if someone else talk to her, she can remember your name during the conversation, and next day the memory will be refreshed. This is because the owner don't want his Genesis learn all kind of random things that other people talk to her. It can be kind of messy, right? So that's why we are making a difference between those memories. So that is the update, and we keep improving this according to this logic. Update number 3 is a UI improvement. Now you can see all the details, and it's more user friendly both for website and the mobile UI. According to that UI improvement, our update number 4 is you can change your username and your own icon, which is set in the Xanaria, and that will be applied to XANA Genesis chat window. So that means if you modified your owner informations in Xanaria, then it's gonna be applied automatically in the chat session during you talk with your Genesis, so that you can feel that you are becoming your digital identity, same as other SNS, then feel you're really discussing with your own XANA Genesis. That's the improvement. So please try. If you're not trying yet, then you can still go into the Xanaria setting page, and just like you change your user information in the OpenSea, you can do it exactly same for Xanaria. So that's gonna make your conversation with XANA Genesis more interestingly, even after the taking a screenshot or videos for those conversations with XANA Genesis and post it to the social network, it can be more interesting. So that is an improvement. And there another two updates is the one of the update is you can now change the background picture of XANA Genesis. So according to your conversation with Genesis, you can make it like you are talking to XANA Genesis in your home or the school or some beach, or change the background anytime according to your feeling. So that gives more, the reality and immersive feelings during your chat. So that's kind of very interesting. And our XANA DAO creators or users, they're using this function lately. So that their conversation looks really awesome. And the last update, number 6, is that you can change your XANA Genesis name in this Genesis chat window. If you connect your wallet and you select your own XANA Genesis, then you can see the name edit button beside your own XANA Genesis name. From there, you can directly edit her name anytime. That is the update of XANA Genesis, which we introduced in October 23rd. Yes, that's a big update. And now we are constantly working on next update, which is going to be the animation plugin and the voice action plugin. So that voice action plugin can realize the both function, which XANA Genesis can hear your speech to understand what you want to say beside of the chat. So that make a conversation really smooth. And then instead of just chat to replay back, she's gonna talking to you back. So that really start making a feeling like you are really talking to the XANA Genesis. That is the update. That's gonna be the next update. And we are constantly working on the animation. It's a kind of big task, but we are almost there. Now we are making more variations, but we already succeeded that she can understand and show you the right type of the facial emotion according to her reaction based on what you say to her. That is a very big improvement, and that's totally taking the NFT to the next level, because now you can really feel that she has an emotion, because sometimes you can make her angry or happy, smile, shy, and she will analyze and totally understand what you are saying, and she will instantly respond to the right kind of the reactions with the emotions, with changing the face and the replaying back. That's super interesting. I'm really feeling like this is already very personalized, very immersive. So yeah, that is the next update, which is coming for the XANA Genesis. Maybe we are trying our best to release this new function in November. So keep in touch. So the demo NFT will be released very soon. So we just finalized the two of the our exchanges, which is our listing our token, and also our NFT launch partner. We're gonna do the co-launch together, and that's gonna be somewhere around the second week of November or somewhere around that. And all the detail is coming very, very soon. And this gonna be the very first movie-based NFT collections which we released. And of course, this is the first NFTs of this demo series, which has been downloaded 28 million times by the users all around the globe. Such a huge game, and this is the first NFT collection from this series. So that is super exciting. And in Japan, I think not only in Japan, but a global level, and creating the NFT from the movie scene is such a unique and very new way. This one doesn't exist before, because this is the one-of-a-kind unique NFT. Only you are owning that moment. And that is so rare. I mean, there is nothing else exactly same as what you have. So that's kind of totally different level of the owning experience of the movie. I think we have a huge opportunity here. So we want to explore this possibility of the NFT X movies possibility for further cases. So this will be the very interesting challenge. The owner of this movie, the creator, producer of this movie, which is the Pony Canyon, they are already owning our XANA land. So definitely we're going to create some kind of immersive experience according to these NFTs, such as a demo museum kind of metaverse world. That's what we're going to make after after launch of these NFTs, and the NFT owner will have exclusive access to this specific world. So that's gonna be another big utility for this NFT, and we are so excited to introduce this one to you guys. So that is the demo NFT, and we are constantly working on our XANA DAO activity, and we already introduced first series of the winners. I mean the MVP creators and winners of our monthly DAO activities. And I think the last time for the September, we introduced 5 to 6 divisions. The best creator, MVP creator, MVP world builder, MVP DAO supporter, MVP XANA promoter, MVP event creator in XANA Metaverse. So that was the 5 sections that we introduced. And for the October, we are already start gathering the voting. So this XANA DAO activity is totally driven by the DAO members. We are just like seeing the result and providing the reward. But the voters, they are all the DAO members. So it's 100% fair. So anyone has the opportunities and anyone can try from any time, any month, because this is like refreshing event for every month. It never be too late. You can have always a same equal opportunity with anyone else. So October, according to our difficulty of the iOS application, we don't have a XANA event MVP reward this month, but instead we are gathering a lot of the XANA Genesis content, which users are having a chat with the XANA Genesis and creating the interesting content. We're gonna have the reward for those things. So if you're having a XANA Genesis, please try to create a content and apply to that, so like you can get the voting to get rewarded. Other sections are going on as usual, as the same as September. And one additional thing is that we started our NFT duel test league. So that's gonna be the event which has the largest reward. All of the other MVP rewards is somewhere around like $500 to $800 for the first prize, something like that, right? But the NFT duel, the first prizes is so much higher. I think there was around $2,000 to $3,000 value of the token will be rewarded to the NFT duel test league winners during these 2 weeks. So yes, like that's gonna be most beneficial thing. Please, if you have a Alpha Pass or NFT duel Genesis card of Astroboy or ULTRAMAN, please try the test league. It is ongoing process, and we are announcing each winners and the ranking of each leagues every day. And we still have another week, so like you still have opportunities. Please try that. I think this gonna be probably the very last one-time test league before we going to XANA Chain. So after XANA Chain launch, everything's gonna be our own chain process on XANA Chain, and that's gonna be a very beginning of the real play to earn mechanism, and you can really start playing the game with your own NFTs. So that is the next update. So please don't miss this opportunity to have a good experience of the training before the real league starts. Okay, so that is about NFT duel test league. October 24th, we announced the result of our staking cycle 3 raffle, and that was total of 3,170 treasure box has been distributed. Almost like a 17.8 million Zeta token has been staked, which is nearly a $1 million value of the tokens, right? And the total ticket issued was 1.87 million ticket. There was a lot of rewards, which was NFTs, real NFT, wearable NFTs, and the XANA Land itself, and XANA Genesis NFT itself, and the voice plugin, animation plugin for the XANA Genesis, and in-app tokens, and many more. And the new series of the staking cycle 4 will be starting in the 1st November, which is almost next week, right? So that's gonna be the beginning of this April 4. So to earn the largest amount of the ticket to get the highest possible probability to earn the reward is to start staking as early as possible, as soon as the staking starts. So we recommend you stake your Zeta token if you have before this November 1st, so that you can make sure to get the ticket right after the cycle 4 starts. So that is the key to earn more tickets. And we're gonna announce the rewards, the various rewards for the cycle 4 very soon, within this couple days. For the cycle 4 starts, please keep in touch and stay tuned for the next rewards. After that, we are constantly updating our XANA stories. This is getting really interesting. There's a lot of creators have been wrote stories about XANA and XANA Genesis, and it's super interesting. I always really love to read this content. And now we are upgrading that. We are adding to some kind of visual into this novel, so to make it like a visual novel, so that you can start enjoying that inside of the Metaverse app as well. That's the kind of update we are doing for the XANA stories. And of course, like some of the novels will be actually published as a book in the future. And that's gonna be interesting because, many people will have an interest about XANA through those kind of stories, because story is telling a lot of things, and stories pulls people's interest, and people will have a kind of immersive experience during reading those kind of interesting stories, that you're feeling like, oh yeah, I'm inside of the metaverse and having this kind of metaverse life. So that is the purpose, like we keep creating that, and our amazing DAO creators are keep creating such amazing novels. We are constantly supporting these activities. These activities will also counted as a DAO MVP creator reward of the month. So every month we are rewarding those creators too. So if you have writing skills, then please try to write something about XANA or XANA Genesis or anything. That's going to be a very interesting step to start creating the content in XANA. Another very important update that we announced today was token burn. In the end, we announced the half of the rand sale revenue to going to be buyback and burned this week. And we started buying back in this Monday, and we just execute the burning this morning or like last night. And in the result, that was a total of 47.5 million Zeta token have been removed and burned forever from this circulation. That is a kind of big amount, almost like more than 20% of the current total supply. So that makes Zeta token to be easier to raise its value when the more demand is coming in the future. That is the very good signal for the Zeta token, and we are constantly working on this token burn. According to our new plan, which we announced in the last XANA growth campaign, that was new Zeta token burning mechanism. So from now on, every time our NFT series, our own NFT series have been purchased, sold, or even traded, those kind of revenue will be spent for the token burn constantly. So every time someone buys NFTs, someone trade NFT, that's going to be beneficial and profitable for all of the Zeta token holders. That is a big thing. That making the Zeta token really strong, because a lot of the project, XANA, one of the strongest project which has big power to sell the NFTs. And not only just selling the NFTs, in that revenue is directly connected with the Zeta token value. Now, according to this new mechanism, now those things is totally connected, and that's we can keep aggressively burning token every time this launch happens, or constantly, even from the OpenSea. From the OpenSea, NFT trade happens, there will be a royalty fees, right? And this royalty fee will be collected, and once in a month or once in a bi-week, we're gonna keep burning the Zeta token accordingly, just like this week. That is a new mechanism, and it is working really amazingly. Let's see how far it goes. That was about the Zeta token burning, and we also opened a new burning page. If you keep looking at this new token burning page, then you can catch up our token burning event constantly, and you can take a look at how many tokens have been burned according according to the NFT sale. We keep improving our ecosystem. According to the token burn and further mechanism of tokenomics in the ecosystem stronger, we are introducing XANA chain and very soon. And right after this XANA chain is introduced and launched on the mainnet, then of course XETA token on the mainnet will be keep spent and burned as a gas fee. So every time the user trade, stake, swap, or buying the NFT, sell NFT, transfer NFT, every time any kind of actions, this token spent will be happening and token burn will be happening as well. So that is a kind of most vital function for the XETA token, and that is our next big target for the XETA token tokenomics, and that's coming most likely on the November. So let's see, it's gonna give a super boost for the XETA token for sure. I'm gonna go deep with this XETA token a little bit after, because I want to talk about our new NFT duo game according to this XANA chain. We're just starting the AI chat functions every day in English. Like we are keep monitoring our OpenSea transactions of XANA Genesis. We are picking up the best XANA Genesis which has been traded in the day. We pick them up and we are highlighting them in our Twitter. And after transaction happen, we talk to that XANA Genesis and get some kind of interesting conversation, and we are posting that on the Twitter. So that is not ourselves who is buying these NFTs, but if you have even one XANA Genesis NFT, you can talk to someone else's XANA Genesis NFT seamlessly. That is how we are talking to XANA Genesis, someone's XANA Genesis which has been traded at that day, and we are kind of pulling the good conversation to introduce that XANA Genesis to make it interesting. So that's kind of things we just started in the last week. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if your XANA Genesis getting picked in this tweet, then that's gonna be a lucky because many people are watching that. That's gonna be only English because our creators or Japanese XANA Genesis owners, they are super constantly uploading the amazing XANA Genesis content every day. So there is no necessary for us to do the Japanese tweet anymore because their conversation is even better than us, you know. That's kind of funny, but yeah, so like they are so good to pull the best conversation from the XANA Genesis so much better than us. So our conversation with XANA Genesis that we are tweeting is kind of, you know, serious kind of conversations because let's say our team is very serious guys, the gathering of the serious guys. So we are, I think, not really good at to pull those kind of funny or like interesting conversations from XANA Genesis. So that is, you know, the great part of our XANA DAO creators. So their content is amazing. So that's why they're doing the Japanese content tweet and we are doing the English tweet. But anyway, I love it. I'm so enjoying to watching this kind of XANA Genesis tweet content. I'm loving it. It's so cool. Every time I see this content, that really make me happy. Next week, we're gonna probably have a partial update of XANA Builder, and that we improved a lot of parts. First, that we improved a lot of usabilities, and we also update visual qualities. And we tweeted about our latest state of the XANA Builder new visual, and that is so rich. You can see the textures are improving and the lighting is improving. There's an animated object and there is some kind of, a lot of details has been improved. And some of those improvement, you can feel it when you download the next version of XANA Builder, which is coming to next week. Not whole, this is a step by step. So you can probably see all of the update in the next 2 or 3 updates, but that is kind of the result you can expect in the next 3 versions. So yeah, like we're constantly working on the improvement of XANA Builder, and every time we do that, then the XANA creators will be able to create more rich worlds, and that's gonna boost your land value, of course. According to that, we are also trying our best to release this new function to create the NFTs from the world, to convert world from the XANA Builder individual NFTs to launch and trade in the Xanaria NFT marketplace. That will realize our first build to earn mechanism in our ecosystem. That is kind of very tricky because we have to figure out a lot of things, how to establish the independency for each land NFT or world NFTs, or like try to make it as a set, to combine those two NFTs to make a one set, or divide them back into the two individual NFTs to trade individually. That is a lot of a tricky part, and there's so many technical things is going on in the behind the scene. We are almost there, and we keep just developing these functions. We are trying our best to release this function in November. Stay tuned for that. Okay, so that is the update. Not next week, but somewhere in the middle of this next month, which is November, is the next update of XANA Metaverse itself. And that we improved a lot of things, and we are partially already launching that on the Android, but we're gonna have a next version. For the iOS, let me talk about this big update. Apple itself just announced the new attitude and regulations against the Web3 or NFTs and those kind of new technologies that we are doing. Their stance is very strict. It's Apple, It's Apple tax will be applied same as in a purchase to the NFTs. So that basically it is gonna be almost very tough to have a similar experience as we originally designed to realize it in the iOS devices. I mean, the desktop is fine. The Mac OS, Mac don't have that kind of strict regulations yet, so that's gonna be fine. But the iOS mobile app store is very strict about that. That's why we keep discussing the Apple, and we found the solutions now how to deal with it. And the basic solution is that we gonna release the iOS version of XANA app almost same as a Web2 app. And all of the NFT experience will be needed desktop device or Android phone. And you can still experience all of the functions in a metaverse, which is going to be like, visiting the world, playing the game together, or like a chat with the friends, buying the wearables, or like visiting the events, but just accept NFTs. So the item will be sold as a shape of the Web2 in a purchase way, or still we can consider to go with the Apple NFT way. In the end, it's going to be almost same, because if you are paying for the 30% for the platform, then that's going to be very tough. If you are an NFT trader, you can understand what I'm saying, because 30% is just like insane. It is very hard. That make me think almost no meaning to sell the item in NFTs in Apple. That is why we are not still concluded to go with the Apple NFT way or Web2 way. It's almost same fundamentally. But we will see. If the Apple's NFT user experience is really good, then we can consider. Like if this experience is the same, the purchase flow is same, user experience is same, I think still, of course, it is still but still NFTs, it is still you can have your own true ownership than the Web2 items. We can go with that. Let's see how the usability works, because I don't know like how they're going to allow that, because Apple are mentioning that they're going to prohibit the connecting wallet functions to prevent the external NFTs to coming into the app. Then I was like, then how are we going to manage? How are we going to purchase the NFTs? And they're saying that user will need to spend the in-app purchase way to purchase these NFTs. Okay, then fine. Then after they purchase the NFTs in Apple through the in-app purchase, there is no wallet. Then whose wallet is going to own that NFTs? Is that user? Where is the wallet that the user will own that NFTs? So there's still like many confusions. A lot of part is not clear. We will see the further announcement, and in behind the scene, we are almost like talking to the Apple's responsible person for the Apple App Store regulators every day, almost every day. We are doing so many back and forward about the conversations, and now like we are almost finding the way to conclude that like which part is not okay and which part is okay. So we are keep following that and keep modifying that for the XANA Metaverse app in iOS to the way they like. Almost 90% okay. Every time we make a change and we think like, okay, now we perfectly did what they want and look at it. And this like, yes, cool, okay. But by the way, can you change this part? And next week, like I was like, oh my God, let's try that again and let's fix this part. And how is that? And they're gonna go like, okay, really cool. It's almost there, but let's change this part. Oh my God. But it's okay. It is a process. Like we have to go through this one. So yeah, we're like hardly doing that, but we are almost there. We are almost there because we are almost 100% following the directions they want. So we are like kind of muting a lot of parts, but still, it is better than nothing, right? We cannot just cut off the half of the mobile user population. Let's do the way they want. I'm not only the negative about this thing, because in the end, our purpose to having a mobile app, not only the mobile app, we are going to have a desktop version or VR version in the future, but the purpose that we were focusing on the mobile app is for the mass adoption. That is our largest goal, right? And to make mass adoption happen, we cannot ignore the Web2 user, because let's imagine how many percent of the population will be comfortable for the Web3 metaverse or NFTs or cryptos or the wallet or secret key or etc. 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 That's going to be a time-taking process that never happened in a couple years. We need 10 years, 5 years, 10 years to see like majority of the people adapt with the Web3. That's time-taking process, right? If we only focus on the Web3 user, then we're gonna miss a lot of the people of which have no idea to how to come to the Web3, or people who don't want to even consider about those things. What is a wallet? I don't know the blockchain. What is the NFTs? Why I have to buy the Ethereum? What is the gas fee? That's like mind-blowing things for the most of the people. Let's say like it's gonna be like 99% of people are not ready yet for the Web3. So that is kind of giving me a clear picture. Our original plan was also like that. Let's provide the solution for the both parties. One side is the solution for the Web3 user, and another side is for the Web2 user. Let's not miss any side. Let's have both sides together as much as possible. That was our original attitude. And now it is getting more clear because the Apple shows its clear attitude against NFTs. It is still totally okay to provide a Web2 only experience. And once user want to start feeling like, okay, like now I like XANA, it has a lot of fonts, and I have this and that, and I want to use it every day. But now, let's see, we are using the XANA application, but some of the user, they have their own wallet, they have their own land, and they have a true ownership. Why I don't have it? Oh, this is because I'm a Web2 user. Let's be a Web3 user. I want to have my true ownership. And I want to try the NFTs. It's still same as XANA, but I'm missing something, right? People will start feeling like this. Then they're going to start doing the Web3 experiences in the other device. If the Apple is prohibiting that in the iOS, then people will start using the Windows or Android or like desktop device. That is the kind of trade-off, and that is kind of the step-by-step process, I think. That is the major reason that I'm not like totally shocked looking at in the negative way only. I'm not really doing that. I'm not really feeling that way because that was kind of original process, and that is the process that human being needed. People need a Web2 experience. They need a Web2 onboarding system. For sure. This is for sure. Let's see in the future, because now another reason that I'm positive about this one is while we are providing this Web2 onboarding way for the Web2 users in iOS and providing other Web3 way for the other device users, there will be like 1 year past and 2 year past and 3 year past. More and more people will start adopting blockchains. More and more people will owning the NFTs. The government, major institutions, major brand, everybody is going to this way. This is already starting. This is already ongoing trend, and this trend never going back before. This is only going to the one way. Web3 user don't come back to the Web2 experience only. No, this is other way is there. Like Web2 user will start converting or parallelly using the Web3 experience in the future and more. For example, the NFT population will be expected to increase more than 40% every year. this is almost same percentage of the metaverse adoption for the people. This is gonna be happening 40 years every year as well. Let's imagine every year 40 more people increasing to coming to the Web3 way. And let's look at the Apple in-app purchase. It is kinda struggling. It is kinda decreasing even. One side is decreasing and one side is growing 40% every year. What's going to happen in the end? Of course, it cannot be ignored, right? If we keep doing that, then people who are owning NFTs, that population will be more than the people who are using the Apple applications. Then, don't want to lose major part of the users, right? In the near future, this going to be flipped. And there will be a time that they need to change the attitude. That is almost sure for me. But before that, let's see. People still need that time to adopt Web3. That is my perspective. And that is the reason we are going to the parallel way for the Web 2 and Web 3 users. I'm sure this works really well. We're going to focus on super smooth adoption, user experience for the Web 2 users for the upcoming metaverse experiences. For example, we're gonna release new games or like new customization function, new building function, etc. And more people will be coming from the Web 2 side because we keep constantly collaborating with the company who was originally famous in the Web 2 world. For example, such as famous artists, creators, influencers, the top brand, top IPs, they are coming from the Web 2 world, right? And of course, their users are also coming from the Web 2 territories and they need a smooth onboarding. So that is the things that we have to originally think about and originally have to provide the smooth adoption way for the Web 2 users. So we still do that and we even do more after this big decision making. That's going to only boost the XANA's user base. So that is why I'm very positive about this change. That's a big change. I really feel that this is the beginning of something big. Every time this kind of big trend change happens, then the old big trend will be swept away from the new ways. No one imagined, for example, that the TV will be beaten by the internet or YouTube. No one imagined that newspaper will be replaced by the website. No one imagined that even YouTube will be beaten by the TikTok, by the user base or using time percentage. That no one imagined that. So every time then some gigantic companies launching the super powerful applications or content or medias, that's not gonna last forever. Those kind of new innovation will keep coming in and then people will follow naturally for the things which has been more natural, a more rich experience and more beneficial for the users and more decentralized way. That's the human nature. That is the kind of organic flow and nobody can stop it. If no matter how much people tried, then this trend cannot be changed, cannot be forced by anyone. So let's see, this is a kind of big signal. Such a big company, Apple, is first, I think almost the first in the history, right? Against for the big innovations. And people will start to feel like that this is the old decisions. Last, let me add one thing that we are launching the XANA app in China. This is already done process, and one really interesting thing is Apple China is originally going this way. They don't allow crypto, they don't allow NFTs, they don't allow anything. I don't know how it's happening, but Apple China has unique own strategy and own regulations. Basically, there is no other countries Apple allowing their users to use another payment method except in-app purchase, even until now. But in China, all of the applications, everything, you can do it Alipay and WeChat Pay. It has never happened in other country, never. But they're okay for that, and that is kind of interesting thing. And of course, there is no crypto payment allowed. So our XANA Metaverse app China version is originally going to this direction. And now global XANA Metaverse app iOS is following these directions and everything will be limited in an in-app purchase. That's fine because we're already doing that in China and it's just totally same experience. Let's see what's going to happen. But the China, we don't know their future. They're going to the blockchain based digital renminbi, right? I cannot say anything for the future that they're going to accept other currency. That's kind of very imagined because they want to push the digital renminbi, of course. And there is no profit for them to invest involve the other cryptocurrencies, right? So there's only cons for them. So that is totally fine. That's the government's decisions and that's the country's decision. So we don't have nothing about it. Yeah, we will see, because China is such a huge market. If we are going to that directions, and there will be a huge possibility for the mass adoptions in China market. The only thing we need to do is just to convert that revenue into the XANA ecosystem back in the behind the scene. So that is nothing wrong, because company earned revenue from the China, and if we keep burning that kind of amount in the XETA token, and then that works almost same as the global XANA ecosystem. It's just the matter of the where that revenue coming from, the source of the burn coming from. So that's kind of same. And what we care is our mass adoption, our value of our asset to go up. So we are like really positive about what we're gonna do in China. Yeah, it is really happening now. Okay, so like it's a matter of time. Maybe middle of the November, we're gonna announce the final start of the XANA China application release. And samely, in the same time, we're gonna also announce the global new version of the XANA Metaverse iOS, which is kind of Web 2.3 applications in November. If you are the iPhone user, I'm very sorry and then appreciate your patience. It's coming very soon, very soon. That is the most important things I wanted to talk about this time. What we are working on right now is we're gonna release 2 new IP for the NFT duel. One is another collaboration with the Astroboy with the Japanese regional government. I cannot say the region right now because the announcement is coming maybe next week. Yeah, that is a new collaboration coming in, and of course that will be applied to the NFT duel. So all of the cards include our first region's collaboration, second region collaborations. Those cards are all usable in the NFT duel. That will be our second IP for following to the ULTRAMAN. And the third IP will be the Crypto Ninja, which is the largest NFT collection in Japan. And there's the largest DAO members in Japan as well. NFT DAO, they are the largest NFT DAO in Japan. They're huge. There's tons of users, tons of creators, and tons of NFT fans, crypto fans. They're like so much. We are largest metaverse DAO from Japan. You can imagine that those two biggest DAO and NFT communities coming together to make this new kind of GameFi, then that's gonna be huge. So we think this is gonna be the last launch of this year, 2022. We are trying our best to announce somewhere in the November the exact launch date, trying our best to launch in somewhere in the middle or end of December. And the great part is, as we are constantly working on having the test league of the NFT duel already, so when we are selling the launching this NFT duel collaboration with the Crypto Ninja, this card will be immediately usable in game. And that is not happening in the most of the cases, because once you purchase GameFi NFTs, there will be a lot of months to wait for the actual game release. Some of the GameFi spend more than 1 year and they're not even launching the game, but people are still holding the NFTs and still, waiting the game. That is totally fine. But of course, if you are the NFT users, then of course you want to play, right? So that is the biggest pros for these new collaborations. You can start playing immediately. And we are aiming to launch this new series, NFT Duel with Crypto Ninja collaboration on XANA Chain. That will be our first collection to launch as a XANA Chain native. This is gonna definitely boost the XETA token ecosystem because every transaction will be the XETA token based. But there's another difficulty, which seems like a difficulty, is the adaptations, right? Because it is a new chain and there will be some kind of hurdle for the users to adopt and coming into this chain. They have to select the network, they have to add a network on their MetaMask, and they have to purchase some kind of token, and they have to bridge it, they have to etc. It looks like a lot of hurdles, but we have a way to skip and bypass all of those hurdles at once. And that is our credit card integration. Our new credit card integration allows users to purchase all of the NFT Duel card by their credit card directly, one swipe, without any kind of token swapping and etc. After they swipe the card, NFT cards will be distributed to your wallet directly on XANA chain. So you don't have to pay this kind of like gas fees and etc. get these NFTs into your wallet, because everything is paid by the credit card. Everything will be charged at once in a credit card. We are doing everything behind the scene for you. So that's gonna be super easy, super easy, even easier than purchasing some GameFi NFTs in the marketplace. It's gonna be even easier. So that is the kind of a secret super feature which is coming for the XANA chain. We already closed a deal with our big new partner to realize this function. We are just like, testing the implementation and so on. Hopefully in the November, we're gonna reveal all the details of these new functions. So that's gonna be super easy for everyone to coming into XANA chain. Another way, if you are a crypto user, if you are already Web3 user, and if you rather spend your crypto more than swiping the credit card, then that is another great news for you. We gonna allow major token payment to be able to purchase the NFT dual cards on XANA chain. That means if you're having Ethereum on the Ethereum network, or USDT on the Ethereum network, or if you're having a BUSD on Binance chain, you can still connect your wallet and you can still pay by those tokens on that network. And in the end, you will get the NFT on XANA chain. So you don't have to think about the gas fees, bridge, token, new token, etc. No, it's going to be super easy for you guys too. So that's going to be almost like the same kind of experience that you ordinarily do, like when you're purchasing any kind of NFTs. So that's going to be the two huge updates that we are planning for the XANA chain. And it is already done deal. We're just testing the implementation. That's gonna really boost the mass adoption for the NFT duel as well, because most of the collaborators that we are collaborating with, for example, ULTRAMAN or Astroboy, and upcoming like famous Japanese top IPs brand, their user is of course Web2 users. No, they don't have a wallet, they don't have NFTs, they don't have tokens and etc. They never have any idea about bridging. That's crazy. That's an alien for them. And we're gonna skip all of those process. They can feel like almost exact the same experience as they gonna start some kind of new Web2 game. They can do the NFT duel in the exact same way. In the behind the scene, we keep gathering those tokens as a gas, and we'll keep burning day by day every time the transaction happen in the XANA chain. That's gonna be a perfect plan for every users. XANA original users, XETA token owners, and Web2 gamers. That's gonna be a happy solution for everyone. Yeah, so that's gonna be the big update we are trying next month for this new NFT duel launch. After NFT duel launch, we're gonna distribute a new token called Duel Token. This Duel Token will be the play to earn reward, and this is totally backed by the revenue. So this is not the air token. This has a backed value by actual revenue. So every time the NFT duel card sold, we're gonna pour this revenue into the revenue pool, and we're gonna distribute the exact same amount of the duel token for the users. Always this revenue pool and the duel token in the circulation will be balanced. That's how we are making this sustainable game model. Compared to the many other like normal game project, this will be a very strong, stable solutions. That's a mechanism, and according to our announcement of XANA chain, we're gonna announce the final ecosystem and tokenomics and this kind of the sustainable solution of the NFT duel. And now we're gonna announce that somewhere in the November. Please wait for the final confirmations, but that's the directions that we are going. Sustainable GameFi. So you do not have to worry about, I have a game token, but it's gonna be dumped hardly. Like after the tokens, it's gonna go inflation so hard. Most of the GameFis in the last year, this is not gonna happen for the duel token. That's it for today's AMA. I talked about what happened to the last week, update for the XANA Genesis, and staking cycle 3, and the upcoming staking cycle 4, which is starting November 1st. And token burn, our new way according to the Apple's regulations, a combination way of Web2 and Web3 experiences, our launch of the XANA China Metaverse app too, ongoing NFT duel test league. Please join if you haven't joined yet. Upcoming new NFT duel IPs, which is the Astroboy and the Crypto Ninja. And according to that, our new launch of XANA Chain, which will be most likely happening on the November. According to the XANA Chain, we're gonna introduce the new credit card payment way. Upcoming new launch of the NFT, which is demo with the new partners. XANA DAO rewards, MVPs that you should try every month. Okay, that's pretty much it. I talked about a lot of things. That's gonna be it. That was really interesting month. This is gonna be our last AMA for the October. And next, a new month is starting. And I'm so excited about what's coming in for the November. We're gonna have another growth campaign coming in November according to those huge updates. So let's stay tuned and see you in the next week. Thank you for joining everyone and hope see you have a great weekend and see you next week. Good night.